Okay, Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. So this is chapter 3. This is the first basic elements of multimedia that we are going to learn. Okay, so chapter 3 is all about text. Okay, so let's start with this. This is what we are going to cover in chapter 3. Okay, the importance of text in a multimedia presentation, understanding font and typeface using text element in a multimedia presentation, computer and text, font editing and design tools, and also multimedia and hypertext. Okay. Um. First, okay. So let's look at the importance of text in a multimedia presentation. So basically, um, words and symbols in any form, spoken or written, so either you said it out, okay, or you write it, are the most common means of communication. So it is easy for others to understand um, the any communication, okay, when we are using text. All right. For example, this slide, okay, one of the element that I use is text, okay. So basically, text is a vital element of multimedia, menus, navigation system, and content. So for example, you want to click on a button. So usually that button or that menu consists of text. Okay, it has the text element, right? And then, okay, what factors that affect legibility of text? Okay, first is size. If size, background and foreground, style, and leading. So let's look at each of these. Okay. Right. So first is understanding font and typeface. So basically, typeface is a family of graphic characters that usually included many type, size, and styles. Okay. So for example, we have what are the example of typeface? Okay. For example, we have Arial. Okay. Arial, Calibri, okay, Times New Roman. And each of these, for example, Arial, we have Arial with font size 12, 14, 16, okay, italic, bold. So basically, this is what we call as typeface, family of graphic characters that usually includes many type size and styles, okay. So Arial, basically, for example, we have font size 12, uh, or we can start with 8, okay, 8, 10, 12, 14, okay, and many styles, okay. While for font is a collection of characters of a single size and style belonging to a particular typeface family. For example, okay, for example, we have Arial, size 12, okay, style regular, okay. So this is what we call as font, all right. It's a collection of character of a single size and style. It's specific, right? It has specific font size. It has specific style. Okay, so belonging to a particular typeface family. So Arial. Okay, in this case, Arial. Okay, so this is typeface versus font. Okay, typeface, name of the design in full. Okay, for example, Arial. So font refers to format or storage mechanism. All right. So typeface is to a font as a song is to an MP3. What does mean by that? Okay. What does mean by that? What does mean by that? So for example, we can say that typeface is a song. Okay. While font is as MP3 at the least. Okay. Specific list. So this is what we call as style. Okay. Style. So Arial regular, Arial regular, Arial bold, Arial italic, Arial bold italic. So this is style. All right. And then, okay, let's look at font styles, font size, cases, serif versus sans serif. Okay. So font styles include boldface, italic, underlining, outlining. So this is what we call as style. Okay, style. So I guess most of you already know about this style, right? Okay. Font size, well, font size is measured in points. So that's why we have 8, 10, 12, 13, 14. Okay, font size. So character metrics are the general measurement applied to individual characters. So let's look at this term. Okay, kerning. Kerning is the spacing between character pairs. So this is what we call as character. One character, this is another character. Okay, so the space between these two characters, we call it as kerning. Okay, all right, the space between character pairs. While leading is the space between lines. Okay, leading is the space between lines. Okay, so from the first line here, okay, to here. All right, so we call it as leading, the space between line. So remember, space between character pairs, we call it as kerning, while space between lines, we call it as leading. All right. Okay, so this is cases. Okay, cases. So a capitalized letter is referred to as uppercase. Okay, uppercase, where a small letter is referred to as lowercase. Okay, so usually for your keyboard, you always use cap locks, kan, cap locks. So basically, you are going to set it to uppercase. Okay, okay, and then where come that caps lock to? Okay, because I guess it's from here. Okay, capitalize. Okay, capitalized letter is referred to as uppercase. So that's why we always say cap lock, right? We want to set the letter to uppercase. Okay, that's why we call it as cap lock. Okay, so while small letter is referred as lowercase. All right. So placing an uppercase letter in the middle of a word is referred to as intercap. Okay. So for example, we have my name, for example. Okay. So this is what we call as intercap. Okay. Place an uppercase letter. Okay. Place an uppercase letter in the middle of a word. All right. So that's what we call as intercap. Okay. Next. Two classes of fonts. So we have serif or sans serif. So let's look at this. For serif, okay, for serif, it has little decoration at the end of a letter stroke, okay? And serif fonts are used for body text. So if you look at this example, okay, this one. So basically, this is a serif font. Okay, this is serif because it has this little decoration. Okay, this little decoration at the end of a letter stroke. All right. So serif fonts are used for body text. So while this one is sans serif, okay, even you can see from here is serif or sans serif. So basically this is a trick. Okay, it is just a trick. So sans serif does not have that little decoration or does not have serif at the end of letter stroke. So look at this, very smooth, right? Okay. So this font are used for headlines and bold statement. All right. So the example of serif font is Arial, Calibri. Okay. For sans serif, for example, we have Verdana or Times New Roman. Okay. Yeah. So you can check from your Word. Okay. Word document. So again, this is what I mean by that. Example of serif font. So Times New Roman, okay, Bookman, Rockwell Light. You see this little stroke, this little decoration? Okay. This is what we call as serif. Okay. Well, example for sans serif, we have sans rigotti, Arial, Comet Sans, MS, Calibri, Impact, Tahoma. So it does not have serif. Okay. No serif. So no little decoration at the end of the little stroke. All right. Okay. Next, type characteristic. Okay. Type characteristic, we have ascender. So ascender is an upstroke on a character. Okay, upstroke on a character, descender the downstroke below the baseline of a character. Leading is spacing above and below a font or line spacing. Tracking is spacing between characters, while kerning is space between pairs of characters. So usually as an overlap for improvement appearance. So let's look at this. Okay, what do you mean by that? Okay, so this is what we call as ascender. Okay, this is what we call as ascender. All right, so okay, so here is ascender. Okay, here, so upstroke on a character. Okay, so from here to here. So this is what we call as ascender, upstroke on a character. And then descender, okay, descender is here, downstroke below the baseline of a character. So if you are asking to draw ascender and descender, kindly draw, for example, H and P. This is better. Okay. So for example, you have here, okay, the line. So basically, this is H, and this is Q, for example. Okay, so this is what we call as descender, and this is what we call as ascender. Okay, all right. And next, okay, so this is tracking. Okay, so tracking is space between character. Okay, you can see tracking. So tracking is the space between character. Okay, tracking. While kerning, okay, space between pair of characters. So let's look at this. This is kerning. Okay, so usually as an overlap for improvement of appearance. That means we want to look to make sure that it looks easily been viewed by the audience, okay, by the user, right? Okay, tracking, leading, all right, leading, and then kerning, okay. Right, so leading between line, okay, space between line. All right, next, bitmap and vector fonts. So fonts can either be stored as bitmap or vector graphic. So basically for bitmap, font depends on the size and the pixel number. So basically, file size increase as more size are added. All right, if the font size we increase, okay, we increase the font size, okay, file size also will increase, right? While vector fonts can draw any size by scaling the vector drawing primitive mathematically, all right? So when we compare between vector file size and bitmap file size, so file size for vector font is much smaller than bitmap, all right? So example of vector fonts format are TrueType and PostScript. Right. So this is the example of bitmap font. Okay, here. And this is the example of vector font. If we look at it here, which one is more smooth? Okay, so we can see very clear that vector fonts are more smooth. Okay, so for bitmap font, it has edges. All right, it has jaggies. Okay, at the edge. Okay, so let's look at this. What does it mean by jaggies? Okay, so jaggies are the jagged edge you see when a bitmap image is resized. Okay, when you make, for example, you want to zoom in, okay, to increase the size. Okay, so you can see that image comes with jaggies for bitmap. Okay, comes with jaggies. For example, here. Okay, you can see here jaggies at the edge, right? So when you increase the size, okay, the size, then you can see the jet edge. All right. Okay. So it is consequence of the underlying array of pixels from which the image is composed. So you can see from here. So this is the original image. So when you resize to here, so you can see the image with jagged, for example. Okay. All right. So how to remove these jaggies? Okay, how to remove these jaggies? How to remove these um the jag edge ni? All right. So we use anti-aliasing. So it is a technique that can be used to eliminate jag edge. So what does it do? So it substitute additional pixel. Okay, here. Okay, additional pixel in other colors to fool the brain into thinking it is saying continuous lines. For example, here we have black and white. So the mixture of color here, okay, is some kind of gray, okay, light gray, right? Okay, to fool the brain into thinking it is saying continuous line. So the technique is used to blend the font into the background by transitioning the color from font color to background. So in this case, from black to white. So that's why we have dark gray, light gray, kind of that. Okay, the combination of foreground and background. Okay. So basically, this technique minimizes the jagged edge, making for a smoother overall appearance. All right. Okay, this is example. So jagged edge, jagged sharp edge, and anti-alias jag. Okay. So this is a vector font. It has been anti-alias. This is a bitmap font. It has jagged edge. Very clear that this one got jagged edge. Okay, here. All right. So that's all for the first part of font of text. Okay. So let's continue with the next part. All right. Okay. In second part, we are going to look at the use of text element in a multimedia presentation and also computers and text. Okay. So why do we use text element in multimedia presentation? So basically, these are the usage of text in multimedia presentation. Okay. For menus for navigation, interactive button, fields for reading, HTML documents, and symbols and icons. Okay, so this is the example of menus for navigation. So for example, we can navigate, or the user can navigate through content using a menu. For example, we have here, okay, a simple menu consists of a text list of topic. For example, we have this ANW website. So look at here, we have about, we have menu, okay, we have promotion, package, locate us. So they use text element, okay, text element as menu navigation. Okay, this is what we call as using the text element for menu navigation. Okay, so user navigate through content using a menu. All right, not the NW menu like what do we have? A burger. Okay, no. Family combo, no. Okay, this is the menu bar. All right. And then the second one is interactive button. Okay. So interactive button is a clickable object that execute a command when activated. For example, we have this web button, for example, home, music, comments. So when we click on home, okay, home button, it will link you to uh, home page. Okay, for example, main interface. Okay, so users can create their own button from bitmap and graphic. Not necessarily we use this shape, for example, but you can also have, for example, a graphic of tree, image of tree, and you write here whatever is it. For example, menu here. Okay, so this is actually a button. Okay, so you can create your own button. For example, you draw or you create this tree image. Okay, and then you put the text element inside this. Okay, so when you click on this, so basically button is a clickable object that execute a command when activated. For example, when you click on menu, it will go to the list of menu, for example. Okay, so the design and labeling of the button should be treated as an industrial art project. So be creative. Okay, be creative. Okay, next, fields for reading. Okay, fields for reading. So reading a hard copy is easier and faster than reading from the computer screen. Who agree with me? Okay, so as for me, yeah, I agree with this. Okay, reading a hard copy is easier and faster than reading from the computer screen. Okay, it's better. I love to print out any handout. Even yeah, it's quite wasting, right? Okay, so a document can be printed in one or two orientation, portrait or landscape. Okay, up to your content. Okay, so the taller than wider orientation used for printing document is called portrait. What do you mean by that? Taller, okay, then wider. Okay, like this. Okay, taller, then wider. So this is what we call as portrait. Okay, wider than tall orientation that is normal to monitors is called landscape. Okay, so like this. Sorry, wider than tall. Okay, so this is what we call as landscape. All right, so reading, feel for reading. Okay, and HTML document. So the usage of text element in multimedia. Where do we use text element? Okay, in multimedia presentation. Okay, next is HTML document. So HTML stands for hypertext markup language. Okay, HTML, hypertext markup language. Okay, so it is a standard document used for web page and marked using text. All right. Okay, so the advanced form of HTML is DHTML. So D stands for dynamic. Okay, dynamic hypertext markup language. So DHTML use cascading style sheets. Okay, CSS for usually we use this for web development. Okay, so some of the commonly used tags are, okay, for example, we use B. Okay, for to make it as a bold face, text as bold face. Okay, okay, and then OL, order list. Okay. Image, if you want to insert image. Okay, stop it. IMG. Okay, close. All right. So this is the commonly used text lah. All right, paragraph, athlete, for example, I. Okay. And then last but not least is symbols and icons. So symbols are concentrated text in the form of stand-alone graphic construct. So they used to convey meaningful message. So symbols are used to convey human emotion called emoticon. Okay, like I think most of us use term emoji, right? Emoji. So basically it's emoticon. So symbols. Okay. Um, for example, smile. Okay. Uh, shy shy. Love. Okay. Grinning. Laughing. Okay. Angry. Which one is frustrated? Maybe this one frustrated. Maybe. Okay. Sleepy. All right. So to convey human emotion. Okay. So if you're happy, you can use the smiley, for example. Okay. While icons are symbolic representation of object and process. So, okay, process, stop. Okay, walking, this is process. Eating or object, this is a eating place, for example. Okay, no smoking. Or even, for example, icon at toilet. Okay, toilet's door. All right, object. So icons are symbolic representation of object and process. Okay, while symbol used to convey human emotion. Okay, emotion. Okay, the next one is computers and text. Okay, choose tips to choose text font. Okay, we need to consider legibility and readability. So make sure that the font that we use in our multimedia presentation can be read by the audience. Okay, should be read by can be read by audience. Okay, so if you would like to use, for example, Lucinda handwriting, if I'm not mistaken. Lucinda, I forgot. Okay. For example, so is it suitable or not? For example, for slide presentation, is it suitable or not? So we need to think about it. Okay. Consider readability. Okay. And then avoid too many faces. So you use Lucinda handwriting. So you use Arial. So you use Times New Roman. Okay, avoid too many faces. So for example, if you want to create your poster, okay, linear multimedia poster, make sure do not use too many faces. Maybe 3 or 4 is just enough. Okay, okay, enough. Use color purposefully. Okay, make sure you know how to use the color, the foreground and background color. Okay, to make sure that the text can be read, okay, by the audience. Use anti-alias tags. Okay. Use drop caps and initial caps for accent. Usually we use this. Minimize center tags. Everything you want to put it as centered. Not necessarily to use centered tags. Okay. Try to minimize it. So when we are trying to minimize the centered tags, actually we are playing with our creativity skill. Okay. Creative skill. Our creative skill. Use white space. Okay. Background. Use animated text to grab attention. For example, if you are going to do a multimedia presentation, okay, not poster, but any other multimedia presentation, use animated text to grab attention. Kalau poster, boleh ke use animated text? Of course not, right? Tak bergerak kan? So kita nak print it out. Okay, the font wars. Okay, PostScript is a method of describe an image in terms of mathematical construct. So PostScript characters are scalable and can be drawn much faster. There are two types of PostScript fonts, type 3 and type 1. Okay, this is example. And then TrueType, this is TrueType, this is bitmap. So as we can see from here, okay, TrueType is a system of scalable outlines font and can draw characters at low resolution. Even with low resolution, it has a very smooth appearance. Okay. OpenType, Adobe and Microsoft developed OpenType, now the international standard. So for TrueType, basically Apple used TrueType, but OpenType, Adobe and Microsoft developed OpenType, incorporate the best features of PostScript and TrueType. So this is basically when we're talking about the font war, PostScript, TrueType, OpenType, this is what has been used by Windows, okay, by Apple, all right? This is the character set. So the American Standard Code for Information Interchange ASCII is a 7-bit coding system. So most of the standard use this ASCII. And then a standard character set is commonly filled with ANSI standard character. Okay, so this is the example of Unicode. Okay, Unicode is a 16-bit architecture of multilingual text and character encoding. That's why you can see from here ada banyak jenis kan? Okay, of text. Okay, 16-bit character. So banyak lah. So for example, we have kalau 7-bit coding system ada 7-bit je lah. 4, 5, 6, 7. Just imagine if Unicode, we have 16-bit architecture of multilingual text. Maksudnya dia ada lebih banyak coding, lebih banyak character that it can be represented by Unicode. Okay, sebab ada banyak. So 00001, for example, sampailah berapa tu? 16 kan? 16-bit. Okay, so the shared symbol of each character set are unified into collection of symbols called script. So selalunya kita panggil coding kan, pernah dengar tak coding? So script like coding, right? So that's all for part 2. Okay, the usage of text element in multimedia presentation and computer and text. Okay. Now the third part is we will look at font editing and design tools and also multimedia hypertext. Okay. Font editing and design tools. So creating attractive text, we can use, for example, Font Lab, okay, or Bitfont Maker. That means you create your own attractive text, not using the ready made one. Okay, so you can create your own attractive text. And Fontographer is a specialized graphic editor. Okay, specialized in text. Okay, Fontographer. Okay, so it is compatible with both Macintosh and Windows platform. Can be used to develop PostScript, TrueType, and OpenType font. Okay, like this one. And it can also modify existing typeface and incorporate PostScript artwork. You make your own. Okay. And then hypertext is defined. Let's look at hypertext. Hypertext is defined as the organized cross-linking of words, image, and other web elements. So usually when we have this hypertext, when you click on that, it will direct you to another link. Okay. So a system in which words are keyed or indexed to other words is referred to as hypertext system. So basically, this hypertext system enables the user to navigate through text in a non-linear way. So you can type or key in any text. Okay. So from there, it will navigate you to another page, for example. Okay. So software robots visit the web page and index entire website. So for example, we key in multimedia and we click search. Okay, so it will show you list of multimedia web page, for example. Like this one lah. Okay. All right, this is typical methods for word searching in hypermedia system. Okay, so we have categorical search. Okay, categorical search. So for example, when we type rice, this is actually same category with fried rice, for example. Okay, association. For example, we type chicken and fried. It will list out. Okay, it will search and list out all the result with chicken and fried. Must have chicken and fried, for example. Truncation means when you write girl, okay, like this, for example, means you are searching for girl or girls. Right? Word relationship. For example, we write here party, comma, balloon. So word relationship. Okay, party, we got balloon. Okay, word relationship. Alternate. Okay, alternates bread, egg, or egg, bread, for example. Okay, intermediate word, searching for middle word. Okay, we search for middle word. Wanur Hafsah, no, example. Okay, so dia akan searchkan anything, dia akan keluarkan. Kalau ada no kat tengah tu, dia akan keluarkan juga. Okay, adjacency, beef burger. Negation, white when you are searching for black. Okay, dia macam terbalik lah, negation. Okay, cara dia search tu. Okay, cara dia search tu. Frequency, searching based on frequency or how often the word appear. That's why, for example, when you search using Google, for example, usually it is based on frequency. Okay, the search is based on frequency. How often the word appear. Okay, yang paling banyak selalu keluar tu, itu akan jadi yang pertama nanti. Okay, it will search it first. Okay, next. Hypermedia structure. Okay, first we have link, notes, and anchor. So links are connection between conceptual element. Links are the navigation pathway and menus. So, okay, this is what we call as link. Okay, connection between conceptual element. All right, links are the navigation pathway and menus. So link, nampak tu link. Dia ada link in between this and this, this and this, this and this. Okay, link. Notes are accessible topics, document, message, and content element. That means the content or the document, the message that we are looking for. For example, yang di link kan tu. So this is what we call as note. This is one note here, for example. Okay, so notes are linked, and links form the backbone of a knowledge access system. So when you have note, you need to make sure that you have link to ensure that it can be linked between message, between information. Okay, and the third one is anchor. Okay, so anchor is defined as the reference from one document to another document or image, sound, or file on the web. Okay, so source node link. Okay, which one is link? This is link, right? Okay, so source node link to the anchor is referred to link anchor. Okay, so this is link anchor here. Okay, link anchor. And the destination node link to the anchor refer to link end, like destination lah. Okay, so this is from source, we call it is link anchor, and destination, we call it as link end. Okay, for example, this one. This is link anchor, this is link end. Okay. Link, anchor, link, end. Okay. Source node link to the anchor is link anchor. Link end is the destination node link to the anchor. So ingat that source destination, source link anchor, destination, link, end. Okay. Okay, so done with chapter 3, text element. It always seems impossible until it is done. Okay, this is put from Nelson Mandela. So if you have any question, don't be shy, just ask me. Okay, so that's all for chapter 3. Thank you so much. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.